Hi students, very good morning all. Welcome back to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. Today I am going to explain animal tissues. Students, already I started tissues lesson. We completed plant tissues and we started this animal tissue also. Now today I am going to focus on connective tissue, and just I would like to give small recap of the previous classes, students. You know, tissues is generally nothing but a group of cells forming a tissue. Tissue is right. These tissues are formed by the cells, organs. Just I'm giving recap of the previous class. Organ system, and finally we'll get organism. Okay. Right. So already we discussed plant tissues. Plant tissues is of two types: meristematic and permanent. Under meristematic, three types are there: intercalary, lateral and apical meristems we discussed, and about the permanent, simple and the complex. Under simple, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma we discussed, and under complex tissue, phloem and xylem we discussed. Now let us talk about the animal tissue. You know, animals are completely different from plants. In the same way, the arrangement of the tissues or the structure, organization is completely different from the plants. So, in the animals, we have four types of tissues. Four types. The first one is epithelial. Next, connective. Next, muscular, and fourth one is nervous tissue. How many types do we have in our animals? Four types: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissue. Okay, and already we discussed in the last class about epithelial. We have four different types of epithelial cells. Like, what are those? Columnar epithelial cells, ciliated, squamous and cuboidal. Columnar, ciliated, squamous, cuboidal epithelial cells. Already I discussed in the previous classes. Today, let us discuss about the connective tissue. Here, again, students, in the connective tissue, we have different types of tissues. What are those? Cartilage. What are those, children? Cartilage, bone, tendon, blood, ligament, adipose and areolar. How many? Total we have 7 more tissues under connective tissue. Let me give a small hint about the connective. See, students, the name itself is connective. So here this tissue helps the organism structure for maintenance, connectivity, okay, strength, support, structure. So all these are completely possible by our connective tissue. So under connective tissue, first we are discussing about the cartilage. Like blood, okay. You know, blood is, students, fluid connective tissue. Blood is considered as fluid connective tissue. Why it is so like that? Actually, you know, blood obviously in the liquid form. Okay, so blood is the only carrier. It is touching maximum all the cells of our body. So it will be acting as an excellent carrier for so many nutrients, enzymes, ions and everything in our body. That is the reason we'll call our blood is a fluid connective tissue. See, first, blood has a fluid matrix called plasma. Generally, students, our blood is having a fluid matrix. What is that? Plasma. Next, and blood consists of three students: plasma and blood cells and other some ions, but no need to count all those. Blood consists of two major things: plasma and blood cells. Okay, and again these blood cells are of three types: RBC, in short I am writing, in the after slides I will be writing the full forms: RBC, WBC, and third type is platelets. Platelets. Here, you know, RBC is nothing but red blood cells. WBC, white blood cells. Platelets are also called as thrombocytes. Here, our plasma contains proteins, salts and hormones. What our plasma contains, children? Our plasma contains proteins, ions, salts and hormones. You know what are hormones? Hormones are the chemical substances. They'll help the organism in so many ways by increasing the height, growth factors and showing the secondary sexual characteristics in the adolescent. So all things can possible simply by the influence of the hormones. Right. Next, blood flows and transports the gases, digested food, hormones and the waste materials to the different body parts. See children, food we are taking through the mouth. We are eating, we are swallowing, and it enters to the esophagus, then to the stomach, then to the small intestine. In the small intestine, whatever food is absorbed or digested, so it need to supply to the blood vessels. So I can say strongly that blood is the thing, it is supplying all the digested food, means all the nutrients to the different body parts of the body. From the intestine, the food is the digested food should be taken or collected by the blood, and so along with the blood circulation, it is touching different corners of the blood, so it is supplying the nutrients to the different body parts. Right. And not only supplying the nutrients, it is also collects the what? Waste material, students. Even however cell requires some micronutrients or the macronutrients, in the same way after the biochemical procedure, cell excretes some kind of waste materials, and that waste also being collected from the different tissues by our blood only. So here our blood flows and transports gases, digested food, hormones, waste materials to different parts of the body. See children, so many things it is supplying and it is collecting and it is carrying. I hope you all can understand. Blood flows, transports the gases, and one more important point, oxygen. Blood is having the hemoglobin pigment, So this, with the help of this hemoglobin pigment, our blood supplying oxygen to the different parts of the body. Okay, so our blood supplies gases, ions, food, nutrients, enzymes, hormones, and it also collects waste materials from our different cells of the body. That is the main importance of our blood. Next, let us see different types of the blood cells. As I said, no, blood consists of two things, plasma and blood cells. Here, blood cells are of three types. As I said, RBC, WBC and platelets. Students, RBC is also called as erythrocyte. You need to remember these names also. Erythrocytes. WBC is called as leukocytes. Platelets is also called as thrombocytes. RBC, erythrocytes, WBC, leukocytes, whereas platelets, thrombocytes. Generally, students, these cells are formed in the bone marrow. See here, bone diagram is there, and I'll draw here if you want. See, this is the bone, right? Okay, this is the bone. At the center, it is having a tissue known as bone marrow. In the bone marrow only, all the blood cells is going to be synthesized. That is the reason all the doctors and nutritionists, they'll suggest children to take more and more calcium rich food materials like milk and all. So the reason is that we can expect a good strength and the growth in the particular child. Understand? In the bone marrow, all these blood cells are going to be synthesized. I have mentioned different types of blood cells, RBC, WBC and platelets. Here, first, let us discuss about the RBC. First, let us discuss about RBC. And here, blood having RBC, WBC and platelets, right? See, this RBC consists of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the pigment which helps in the carrying of the gases from one part of the body to other part, and this RBC also helps in the transportation of oxygen, right? And this RBC, because of this hemoglobin, our blood appears in red in color. Okay, WBC also called as leukocytes. They divide into granulocytes and agranulocytes. I'm telling just, but in next classes you will, in brief I'll explain. Granulocytes are again two types. Three types? What are those? Basophils, eosinophils and neutrophils. These are the different types of WBC granulocytes. A granulo, again monocytes and lymphocytes. And platelets are also called as thrombocytes. and these thrombocytes mainly helps in the blood clotting. Blood clotting. This WBC shows its response in the immune response. Okay, so this is the different types of blood cells what do we have in our body. First, let us talk about the bone. Okay, it is a strong and non-flexible tissue. It's good, right? So, bone is so strong and non-flexible. Can it be flexible? No. It is non-flexible tissue. Right. Bone cells are embedded in the hard matrix that is composed of calcium and the phosphorus. Okay. Actually, the bone cells are called as osteocytes. The cells of the bone are called as osteocytes. Bone cells are called osteocytes, and the hard matrix that is mainly composed of calcium and phosphorus. Calcium and phosphorus. Bone is so strong and it is inflexible tissue. Thus bone cells are embedded in the hard matrix that is composed of calcium and the phosphorus. Bone cells are all called as osteocytes. Function of the bone. It forms framework that supports the body. See students, I am the human, right? So in my body I am having the skeleton. Okay, the skeleton is having the skull, ribs, vertebral column, cervix, legs, limbs, and the forelimbs, hind limbs are there. So because of the skeleton only I could able to stand properly on the floor. So bone is the one of the supporting tissue. It's excellent framework that supports the whole body. It gives proper structure, shape, and strength to the body. It also anchors the muscles and supports the main organs of the body. See students, so over this bone we are having the muscle tissue also. Okay, so it is anchors the muscles. At the same time, it is protecting our vital organs in such a way that, see, our brain is embedded in the skull. It's a hard tissue, and the heart and the lungs, they are also sensitive and vital organs. So they were enclosed in the rib cage. Okay, kidneys are there in the cervix. Okay, so this is about the bone. Next, cartilage. It has widely spaced cell. Cartilage are the widely spaced cells. The solid matrix is composed of proteins and the sugars. See students, in the cartilage, the solid matrix is composed of two things. What are those? Proteins and sugars. Sugars are nothing but the carbohydrates. The cells of this cartilage are called chondrocytes. The cells of this cartilage are called chondrocytes. Cells of the bone, students, osteocytes. See students, the tissue to tissue, the name of the cells also changing, that you need to remember. Okay, if it is fat tissue, adipocytes. If it is bone, osteocytes. Now I am telling about cartilage. What are the tissue? What are the cells name? Chondrocytes. Okay. Next. This is about the cartilage. And let us see the cartilage and its locations. Cartilage is just present between the bones at joints. It smoothens the bone surfaces at joints. See students, this is the whole skeletal structure. It is having the joints. At the joints we can suppose to have the cartilage. Okay, cartilage at the knee joints. Cartilage at knee joints. See, knees. And this is the particular, okay, elbows we'll call. And in the nose, ear, trachea and the larynx. See, nose, this is the cartilage. Ear pinna, okay, this is the cartilage. Trachea, so we have nasal way, right? So from the whatever air we are taking into our body, inhaling the air that enters into the nasal cavity, then to the trachea. Trachea is called as windpipe. Windpipe. See, yeah, diagram is here. See, these are the lungs. What are these, children? Lungs. Okay. This is trachea. Okay. For front part is epiglottis, thyroid cartilage, and this trachea, it's a windpipe made up of C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Okay. These are nothing but the cartilaginous rings. Okay. Rings. Then it enters into the lungs. Of course, bronchi and bronchioles, everything is formed. Okay. Cartilage in the nose is we have and cartilage the external ear. In the rib cage, see, chest region also we are having some cartilage. Okay, these are the cartilage and its location in our human body. Next, areolar tissue. It is also one of the connective tissue, and it consists of jelly-like matrix in which there are several kinds of cells and intercalcing bundles and the fibers. See students, this is the areolar tissue. This areolar tissue is having several types of cells and intercalcing bundles. Like, see, these are the fibers. Intercalcing bundles are present. Fibers are of two types: white fibers and yellow fibers. And see, this white fibers very resistant to stretching, but yellow fibers can be stretched and are called yellow elastic fibers. See students, these are the elastic fibers. They'll be helps the tissue for stretching purpose. Okay, some of the cells are able to consume or destroy the germs and play valuable part in the body's defense mechanism system against the diseases. See children, we have immune system in our body, right? I can say that it is the body's defense mechanism. Of course, WBC is going to take care of that work, but along with that, the cells which are present in the areolar tissue also performs some part of the task. What is that? Like, what are those cells? Macrophages. Like, so they play valuable part in the body's defense system against the diseases. Okay, so here we have white blood cells, stem cells, free macrophages, adipocytes, all this. Areolar tissue locations. Okay, generally where we can have this type of tissue means areolar connective tissue is found between the skin, muscles, around the blood vessels. It is just present in the skin. So here this is the skin structure, and it is present around the muscles, even around the blood vessels also. Excuse me. See students, if this is the blood vessel, you know blood vessels are tube-like structures. Around this blood vessels also we can have this areolar tissue, and it fills the space inside the organs, supports internal organs and helps in the repairing of the tissue. See children, this areolar tissue, it supports the internal organs, like blood vessels are there. Okay, you know these are the tube-like structures, vessels, they are pipe-like structures. Without any support, can this hold? No. Can this stand? No. So it needs some external support. Okay, like tissues and all. This particular support is given by our areolar tissue. Are you able to understand? Next, here the skin, that is the skin, students. Next, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is a loose fibrous connective tissue packed with many cells called adipocytes. The cells which are present in the adipose cells are called adipocytes. Adipocytes that are specialized for storage of triglycerides and more commonly referred to as fats. This adipose tissue stores fats. Each adipocyte is filled with a single large droplet of triglyceride as occupies most of the volume of the cytoplasm nucleus. See, this is the adipocyte. Okay, and majority portion of the cell is occupied by the fat droplet. Fat droplet. Okay, and other components also push it towards the edges of the cells, which is bounded by the plasma membrane. Actually, here, whenever a cell is there, cell almost have all the cell organelles, right? But in the adipocytes, as the fat molecule occupies the maximum portion, the remaining cell organelles such as the nucleus, endoplasmic mitochondria, and all these will be pushed towards the peripheral part of the cell. Because of what? Because of this fat droplet. Okay, that is the important point you have to remember. See, each adipocyte cell is filled with a single large droplet of triglyceride. As this occupies most of the volume of our adipocyte, the main internal cell organelles are pushed towards the peripheral part of the cell. That is about adipose tissue. Adipose tissue and the location. Adipose tissue is found below the skin and in between the internal organs. This adipose tissue is present just below the skin. Okay, and it is also present in between the internal organs. See, this is the skin. Hair is there, sebaceous glands, epidermis, nervous dermis is there, subcutaneous tissue, and here capillaries are there, sweat glands, muscles, and the fibroblast. Okay. Functions of adipose tissue. It mainly helps in the storage of the fat. Adipose tissue, in the sense, the main function of it is storaging of the fat. It acts as a insulator and prevents the heat loss from the body. Actually, our human body should be like warm temperature. We need to maintain warm temperatures. So this fat is one of the thermoregulator. Okay, so it acts as an insulator, prevents the heat loss from the body, especially in the winter season. Generally, we used to shiver with these cool temperatures, but we are protecting ourselves with our fat, which is present in the adipose tissue. So it maintains proper temperatures in the body. So that's the reason this adipose tissue will be it will maintain the proper thermoregulations. Okay. And tendon, it is also one of the connective tissue. Tendon connect muscle to the bone. So tendons connect muscle to the bone. Okay. See, for movement of my hand, I am moving my hand. Only with the bones can I move? No. I am having the muscles also, intact muscle over the bone. So it's a combination of the muscle and the bone. Okay, see that particular attachment, tendon connects the muscle to the bone. See children, this is the knee, okay, joint, right? And here we have fragments are there. This is the tendon. Tendon connects muscle to the bone. Next important part is ligament. Ligament connects bone to bone. See, here bone is there and this lower limb and upper limb are there. This particular attachment is mainly coordinated by our ligaments. Ligaments connects bone to bone. Tendon and the ligament. See, this is a diagrammatic representation showing tendon and ligament. Next, I hope I completed all the connective tissues I explained, and let me give once again connective tissue, which is of different types: cartilage, bone, tendon, blood, ligament, adipose, areolar. We all discussed along with the diagrammatic representation, students. I covered connective tissue. In the coming class, I am going to explain muscular as well as the nervous tissue. And that's all for today. Thank you all. Thank you so much.